Well, I just want to let you guys know before you see this video, a lot of work was put in because everyone here, especially on this campus, it's hard to even talk about the sex talk, so I'm trying to get the most I can out of these people, and I'm just hoping my charm personality and my energy can wow them over, okay? Wish me luck. Alright, so this is Noemi. I barely know her. Here we go. So, Noemi, what are your views on premarital sex?
Sex before marriage, it's a sin, but there's forgiveness. It doesn't go, it's not a big sin or a small sin, every sin is equal. The Lord calls us to wait for marriage, and that's my view on that.
Alright, so when you hear the words STD or AIDS, what comes to your mind?
Multiple people having sex with each other.
So, like orgies, or what do you mean?
Well, STDs are basically when you sleep around with multiple people, so you carry like all that infection. I don't know how to say the real definition of STDs, but I also see a consequence from having sex with multiple people. That's what I think of STDs. I mean, it's a consequence, so.
Alright, so do you feel like if we talk to youth more about STDs and protection that the STD rates will lower?
Yeah, I mean, that could be a possibility. I feel like there is already like significant information out there, but are you talking about the Christian community? Or
I'm
just
talking
in
about
youth in
like
general?
you, when you were 15 at home with your mom and your dad saying, let's talk about this. Do you feel like if that happened, did that happen in your household?
I mean, yeah, we had to talk about sex, but we didn't talk about STDs.
Oh,
it wasn't in the picture.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was in the picture, alright. So do you feel like if that happened in a lot of households, sex would be like less of a hush-hush thing and more people talk about it and there'd be more prevention, or do you feel like it should be closeted and walk away the way
Oh, absolutely not. I don't think it should be closeted. I think it's a reality. I mean, we're humans. Everybody will have sex eventually.
Are you sure?
Well, unless
Even the nuns?
Unless you're celibate or like that.
Celibate life.
But I mean, yeah, conversation, sure, bring it out there, be real, and you know, put the information that their STDs are a reality of the world we live in. Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell our viewers, Noemi, before you log off?
No, have a great day, guys. Yeah.
Alright, well, that's Noemi for you guys. I got this celebrity here, Jacob Short, also known as Jay Short, also known as guy that knows a lot about the Bible for such a young age. But here we go. So Jacob, what are your views on premarital sex?
Premarital sex. Well, I would think any Bible-believing person would say that it's wrong because God said so, and also He set guidelines, meaning, I mean, your thing's on what, sexually transmitted diseases?
Yes.
You want to just hop into that?
But yeah.
I think it's interesting how in Romans chapter 1, he says they will receive in their own persons due penalty for their actions. Sounds a lot like sexually transmitted diseases to me. Premarital sex, you could do it, but there's going to be consequences always for your actions. I would say that.
Alright. So when you hear the term STD or AIDS, like what comes to mind?
I don't want to say what really comes to mind.
No, be honest. Still, we want real here. We're real at this table.
In the 1970s, it first started with homosexuals. I'll just say that. And because of that, it then spread, because they go both ways, spread to females, males, and that's how, if you're straight, you can still get AIDS in America.
Okay.
But I think bad things when I hear that stuff.
You think bad things.
Very bad things.
So obviously with the homosexuals, how do you feel about homosexuality?
I feel homosexuality. Just as any other sin, it's wrong to do.
Okay, I feel it. Alright, any last things you want to lead our viewers about the Bible and sex and your stances? Anything you want to tell them? Just to close it out strong?
Stay pure.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, I forgot. Do you feel like if kids knew more about, safe sex and how to prevent things from happening, do you feel like it would help decrease the level of AIDS?
No, I don't think it would help decrease anything. I think people are terrible at heart, and they're always they're gonna make mistakes no matter what.
Terrible at heart? Well,
thank goodness for God's grace.
Thanks for that experience. Well, that's you. There you have it, bro. Stay short. So this is my good friend Annika Guy. Hashtag best friend. Hashtag blockbuster. Hashtag Mrs. SDCC. She runs the world. And I just have a couple questions to ask you. All right. So first, what are your views on sex?
As in, what are my views, like sex before marriage or like sex in general?
Both.
Sex in general, I think, should be talked about and should be an open conversation between people that is much less awkward than it currently is. Naturally, I think there are reasons why, both biblically and in society, sex before marriage can affect relationships. And so, I mean, I would say that you should try to refrain because there are consequences, of course, but I think it's a conversation that more people should talk about.
Hear that, guys? Abstinence is key and talking helps. All right, so when you hear the words STD or AIDS, what comes to mind?
I mean, actually, underprivileged nations come to mind, which is probably a skewed answer because, I mean, STDs are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it almost feels like, as America and as having so many tools and so much information, that we shouldn't still be having so many STDs, but it is a scary thing, and I think a lot of more people than I realize deal with STDs.
All right, screwball questions to throw it in the fire. What is something that scares you about, like, STDs or sex? Like, it could be AIDS, could be genital herpes,
Well,
mouth
besides
herpes.
dying, potentially, that anybody can have them, and you might not see them, you might not know, like, and nobody shares necessarily. That's not an easy topic to talk about with people, or with people that you're potentially going to have sex with. Like, that's not something that people want to talk about.
Okay. Well, my fear is herpes.
You're saying which disease is my fear?
Yeah, like kissing a girl and like she has herpes, then you get, because when you have herpes, it's for life.
Yeah, but have you ever had a cold sore?
Oh, maybe.
I mean, I feel like everybody has cold sores.
So what does that mean?
Cold sore is a form of herpes.
Okay, thanks for
So
telling
you
me.
have herpes.
So I have herpes. Okay. All right. Well, this is Annika. Hashtag best friend. Hashtag volleyball star. Hashtag Mrs. SDCC. And next year she'll be a senior. And next year is her year. She's a bright star, bright future. Love her to death. So I'm here with Valentina, the Italian stallion, tennis star, very attractive girl, as you can see. All right. So all I want to do is talk to you about STDs and sex.
Okay.
So before this interview started, she said she did not know what STD was. She's from Italy, which no excuse there, but it's okay. So I'll just go easier. When someone says sex, what comes to mind to you?
The physical act of love.
Ooh. Okay. I'm digging it. Well, here's the talking box, so when you're talking, I'll give the box.
Okay.
All right, so the physical act of love. All right, so you know that having sex, unprotected sex, could lead to STDs, which are
Yes.
sexually transmitted diseases. So when you hear that, what comes to your mind?
Thank you. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is that I don't really think that many people, especially our age, know like the danger that could come from it. You know, they just are, I think, underestimating the problem.
Thank you. Second question. Growing up in Italy with your parents, I can see you had a nice connected family. Did you guys talk about subjects like sex and STDs?
Well, my family was pretty open about the topic, even though maybe I would talk with my mom more than my dad. But we don't really get that much education about the topic. Like, it wasn't really something we would openly talk about, even though my family wasn't the most conservative one.
Okay. All right, last question. You're doing great, champ. All right. Do you feel like if young people in Italy knew about sex and STDs, do you feel like that could help prevent STDs from spreading? Or are STDs even that prevalent in your country?
Thank you.
Box first.
I don't know like what the percentages are, if it's less or more common over there, but I would totally think that it would help, yeah, for sure. Like knowing about all these diseases that could come with it, I think it would definitely help and like making people more responsible and aware.
I like my here. Well, she went to Eastern Washington, transferred to San Diego Christian. She is a tennis star in every sense of the word. And thank you, Valentina. Stay beautiful.
Thank you, Jared.
Well, this is Blackbird. Can you tell the viewers what you do around campus?
I teach philosophy and religion.
All right. And I want to ask him, as you can see, a lot of knowledge. What are your views on premarital sex?
Premarital sex?
Yeah. Sex before marriage.
Like, what do you mean my views?
Like, do you think it's bad? It's good? Does God forgive?
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay. Now, why do you think it's a good idea?
Because it's such an intimate, committed union that when you share that with multiple people, I think it can really kind of hurt your relationship with that one you're committed to. And I think it's worth the wait.
You know, if you have premarital sex, what happens with that? Comes with
Well, a lot of things can happen. Pregnancies, STDs, maybe feeling connected to someone else that isn't your spouse. I mean, so there's lots of physical and psychological and spiritual things that can happen. So I would encourage people to treat their peers like brothers and sisters and just develop friendships and try to not to get it physical because, man, it's just like a fire. It's like Proverbs tells us, can a man take fire into his bosom and not be burned? And the answer is no.
All right, so
You can't.
on the topic of STDs, do you feel like if we talk to you about STDs at an early age, that it can help prevent people contracting STDs?
It could help, and there's certainly types of contraceptives that could help. But ideally, when you're just saving yourself for that one God has for you, it becomes a non-issue for you. I mean, there would be exceptions. You could get it through birth or needle use or other things besides sex. But generally speaking, most STDs are, like the name, they're sexually transmitted. So if you stay abstinent until you meet, and if you were able to hook up with someone else that was abstinent, think what a precious gift that would be to each other. But if you have had sex and all that, it doesn't mean like you're dirty or you're ruined or God can't work through that. But there are precautions and things you need to be aware of and to be tested. Those sorts of things.
Thanks, Blackbird. Wisdom. I appreciate him. Best profession out.